So I have a lot more to talk about um, in regards to all this stuff, but honestly, it's one of those things where like it needs to be talked about in regards to uh, educating people on it and sharing my experiences in a way that people can garnish, a way to protect themselves and uh, you know, it needs to be gone about in a way that's beneficial for people. And because it's such dark stuff and because of just the nature of what it is that I'm talking about, it's just a lot energetically. And, so I need to take a break. I just need to take a break. It's too much. And I don't even like talking about any of this to begin with, to be honest, but I didn't go through all of this stuff for no reason. You know, I went through it to learn for myself how to come up out of it. And the best I can do with that is share that information with others so that they can come up out of it too. I'm doing my best because I know that people need this information. At the same time, like, I don't know how to even get it to the people that actually need it. I'm aware that a lot of the people that are watching are just watching for, malicious purposes. But it's whatever. I mean, I just feel like I have to tell my stories. That's the best that I got. Um, I just need to take a break on these ones for a while and talk about something different. Especially just because, like, I don't know, talking about that one dude in specific, talking about Alex has been fine. I've processed that enough. But talking about this other dude, like, he just doesn't deserve any of my attention. He never deserved any of my attention. The fact I gave him any of my attention was my own fault, and I've had to deal with the karma of that. But, like, I have to go about these things in a very particular way because he's just, he doesn't deserve the attention off of it. And, like, the one, my phone splits the videos up. So I had 3 different videos to upload, which normally isn't a problem, but for some reason it uploaded the second 2 videos and not the first video that had his name on the title. It uploaded it and processed it 58% and then just deleted it. It's just gone. Suddenly I can't find it. So found that interesting. So I'm going to have to go through that again and get those things out there. But then I'm going to take a break for right now. And there's more parts to the story. There's more stuff that, I involved myself in and shouldn't have and got karma for that I need to talk about. But I can't give it any more energy right now. And on top of that, like, I'm just going through a lot of my own self, I'm going through stuff with my family, which I haven't really been able to talk about either because I don't have all the facts and I'm not trying to, like, start shit, and I'm not trying to, like, say things that are inaccurate about people that are potentially, like, like negative or misleading in any way. Like, I want to make sure that what I'm saying is accurate. There's just a lot when it comes to my family and when it comes to, like, especially the dealings of them with them recently, because I'd been mostly estranged from them for a time. I mean, there's still more. I guess I can talk about the stuff prior to these experiences, leading up to these experiences, that might help. So maybe I'll do that. But that's, something that's just always on my mind and always that I'm kind of having to keep in check so that I'm not getting negative. I'm always having to, focus on the positive and not let that stuff get to me. But then on top of it, the place that I'm staying, this dude, so I was on the street for, about 7 weeks total. And I'd been in Austin for a couple weeks on the street. And this dude happened to see me charging my phone at HEB. I don't know if I put this in a video before. This dude happened to see me charging my phone at HEB, and he was like, hey, can I help you? Like, are you homeless? I was like, yeah, no, I'm okay though. And he was like, well, I have this empty apartment that I normally rent out for bed and breakfast, but I've been traveling and stuff, so I haven't been renting it out for months, and probably won't rent it out for a few more months. So if you want to stay there in the meantime, try to get yourself together, at least have somewhere to shower up and take care of yourself and stuff. it's only a short distance from the HEB, and like, you're welcome to stay there. And I was timid about it first. I went over there to get cleaned up and stuff, and then he was like, well, you can stay the night here and then we'll talk about it tomorrow. And then he came back the next day and was like, well, I don't have anybody staying here, so you're welcome to stay here in the meantime, for as long as you need, up until we rent the place out. And then we had this long conversation. He took me to go get some health insurance cards, which took weeks to come into the mail. So he was like helping me, and like I felt kind of uncomfortable, but I mean, the whole position I've been in is wildly uncomfortable, so I just allowed it. And he was like, I really believe in karma, and like I know that like when you see people that are in need, if you don't help them, then God won't help you, and like I really believe that. And so like I see that there's something in you, and like I really just feel like I'm led to be able to help you out this way, and like I'm not going to ask anything for it. Like I really just want to give you a place to stay as long as you need to stay there, and until you can figure stuff out. Now, I've been trying to get work this entire time, which for whatever reason has just been impossible. I've never had a hard time finding work ever. And it's been now like 2 months since I've been in town that I just haven't. Everything just keeps falling through. Nobody hits me back. The people that do hit me back, or that I've gone to the interviews, then suddenly the person hasn't shown up for the interview, and they're like, oh yeah, sorry, we're just really short-staffed. I had like almost 5 different places that told me that. I literally went to the interview and they were like, oh, well, we're just too short-staffed to have anybody interview you. Like, and how are you even going to get staff in here? Like, well, you can apply again in a couple weeks and stuff. And I've just been doing everything I can and not getting callbacks and trying to show up to places and not getting anything gone through, and just applying for all these different jobs, and just nothing. It's just been like a stalemate for some reason. It's been really frustrating, to be honest, and like demotivating in a lot of ways, but just been doing what I can, focusing on what I can, trying to make money where I can, and selling art and stuff like that normally helps, but I've been struggling with that too, and like I've just been struggling in general. And so I've just been focusing on like trying to stay positive so that I can keep my head in the right place, and like just keeping my eyes open for what opportunities are out there. And, now I have this new opportunity to be able to have a different position, and to be able to move, and hopefully that works out. Because the thing with this place is that like, so the dude, he's just trying to help me out. He's just let me stay here because he cares about karma and stuff. Well, then he like tells me stories. He's from Iran, and he tells me these stories, and he's like, maybe in his early 50s. And he tells me these stories about how he was a revolutionary in Iran, and ended up going to the federal prison or whatever, like going to prison and being tortured for 4 years for being against the government there. And, it tells me these stories. And then after he got out of prison, he went and stayed with the sheiks. They were the ones that took him in, and they like taught him a whole bunch of spirituality. He was an atheist prior, but now he considers himself spiritual, even though he's still an atheist. And was just telling me all these things, and it was really nice. And at the same time, like, it's kind of intimidating for, a dude from another country to tell you that he's, kind of, and he's like back and forth here and there. And like, I don't know what his actual legal status is in either country, to be honest. But like, for him to tell you that like, he's pretty much like an enemy of the country, or an enemy of the state, or an enemy of the government, in his country. And then like, he's here doing this bed and breakfast thing, which like, I don't know. It just kind of started making me feel weird. I like randomly saw this on this movie. Like they like talked about, they just brought it up randomly in the movie, but they brought up this dude, renting out bed and breakfast so that he could videotape people secretly and put it up online and was making money that way. And it just struck me, like, when I first started, and I'm probably just being paranoid, right? But like, there is an entire wall that is just a mirror. It wouldn't surprise me, like a literal entire wall. It's beautiful, but at the same time, it would not surprise me if there were something going on behind those mirrors. I've been like cyber stalked so much and like stalked so much. Like, I mean, I've had people pay to have people follow me and stuff, and like, I'm paranoid enough to begin with, but then like finding that stuff out, like, it's just so triggering. And so I try not to think about those things. I just try not to focus on it. It's whatever, like, whatever. People are going to do whatever they're going to do. I just have to focus on making sure that I'm as safe as I can be. And like, obviously a normal person would be like, oh, well, I'm not safe if I'm being stalked. But like, I just don't feel like there's anything I can do about it half the time. And like, in this position, like, I don't know, it was better than being on the street, to be honest. Like, being on the street is terrifying, especially in Austin. As soon as it was fine the entire time I was in Missouri. It was hot as hell, but it was fine. But like, as soon as I got into Austin, all of a sudden, like, dudes are fucking taking their dicks out constantly at me. And like trying to offer me like any drug you could possibly imagine. I've been offered crack, I've been offered meth, I've been offered heroin, I've been offered PCP, like, multiple times by different people. It's terrifying. It doesn't make me feel safe or comfortable. I don't, it's scary. Being at the shelters is scary. Like, it feels less safe at the shelters. It feels more safe just being alone somewhere because I can hide easier. And so I don't know, I've just been like feeling a bunch of ways. And so I've been taking advantage of this space in that way and like cleaning it. Like, it wasn't dirty, but like, I've been cleaning it because I'm a maid. So that once I'm out of here, like, he can just rent it right away and he shouldn't have to clean. But the thing is that like a couple weeks after I started staying, he started getting weird with me, where like, he just started getting like flirtatious, and like complimenting me a lot and making it seem innocent. So I really couldn't say anything about it. But then at one point he tried to kiss me, like literally put his mouth on me, and I pulled away. It's like when he went to leave and he like came close and he tried to and he like put his mouth on me and kissed me. I pulled away and he's like, oh, you don't want it? And I was like, no. And he's like, oh, well, I only want it if you want it. I really want you to want me. And then he came back in trying to get another kiss, and I pulled back away, like, and just kind of looked at him, and he was like, oh, okay. And so then he left, and he like looked kind of frustrated, and then he didn't talk to me for 2 weeks. Literally just didn't talk to me. He wouldn't text me, wouldn't contact me, and he didn't let me know, like, he wouldn't contact me, but then he just showed up at like 10 o'clock at night one night. This is like a few days ago, maybe sometime last week. Just showed up, and like, I was already in bed. I'd been in bed since like 8:30. And I woke up to the sound of him coming into the house. Thankfully, my bedroom door was locked, and he just came in and like brought some stuff in and then left. And I texted him the next day and was like, were you here last night? And he was like, oh yeah, I didn't knock because I didn't want to wake you up. It's like, okay, but you also didn't text me to let me know that you were coming or anything, and you literally just walked in, because he has a key, right? So he can literally just come in whenever he wants, which doesn't make me feel safe about like showering or, being there like during the 2 seconds it takes for me to get dressed. Like, I'm just constantly on edge all the time now. Well, then last night, like, I'm already, like talking about this deep stuff, like talking about this dark stuff and everything, like kind of put me in a low state. So I've been like, okay, I need to get out of that. So I've just been sleeping a little bit more, just fine. I've been fine. But like last night, like I swore that I heard him come in, but it was like super quiet, like sneaky. And I didn't say anything. I didn't go out there. And then this morning I go out and the door is unlocked, and the tape that I had put because there's like a really bad draft. There's like a big space in the door, and he had told me to put some tape there. So I put some tape there, and that was removed. So it was obvious that he had come into the house. There's nothing moved. There's nothing added. He didn't bring anything in. He didn't take anything out. I have no idea what he was doing in there, but he came in, and it was like, again, like 10 o'clock, 10:30, maybe even 11 o'clock now, like later than ever. And he just comes in and like, it was later. Yeah, it had to have been like 11 o'clock now. So he's coming even later at night. It might have even been later than that, to be honest. Doesn't say anything, didn't try to contact me to let me know he was coming, didn't try to contact me today to let me know that he was there. Like, I'm not going to notice that somebody just came into the house. It doesn't make me feel safe as a single woman alone in this dude's apartment for him just to be able to come in whenever he wants. And on top of that, I ended up getting my mail, the medical cards that he helped me get. I ended up getting those, but they came through the mail and I didn't know because I don't have the key to the mailbox. I don't have access to the mailbox. So instead of just giving me the envelope that had my name on it that he helped me get, he literally opened the entire mail and then laid it out for me. And so, like, the last time that he was there, not last night, but the last time he was there, he literally left. That's one of the things that he left, was the envelope that was my mail that he had opened with the cards and everything, but he had like removed everything. He'd gone through it, opened it all up, and then had it laid out for me, and then wrote a little note about, oh, here's your cards, and I'll be back next week to do some painting because we have to get ready to rent it out. And like, it just makes me wildly uncomfortable. Like, I do not want to be there when he comes back. I don't want to be there. So I will probably end up getting back on the street like tomorrow. I don't know, because he just showed up last night again too. I just feel incredibly unsafe. So I'll probably just go back on the street again tomorrow. But yeah, that's what I'm going through right now. And that's why, like, it's just, it's a lot. It's hard for me to get these videos out super consistently or to talk about a lot of this stuff to begin with. You know, it's emotionally exhausting, but there's also just a lot going on in my day-to-day life that like makes me wildly uncomfortable. And I'm trying my hardest to stay positive and to focus on what I can do to be okay. I'm having a hard time trusting people right now. So it's hard to reach out, especially to people like in this area, people that I affiliated with in the comedy scene and stuff. Like, I just don't know who to trust anymore. So I just kind of feel like I have to do this on my own and don't really know what I'm doing or what's best, but, you know, just pushing through. And yeah, I'll keep getting back to these things as I can.